So, I'm super happy that you're all here. It's always a bit of a... It's always fun to set this up. I don't think we're the best at it yet, but we're working on it. So my technical help is just going upstairs. So even though we're seeing each other digitally, this is real. So well done. You're here, you've made it, you've shown up for yourself. The first minute is always the hardest minute and you've made it. So welcome again. So just take a moment to make sure you're comfortable. Also, we'll be doing the Monday evening classes in English just so all the international non-Dutchies are welcome too. And I would love to hear from you where you are actually from, because I'm very excited to also see some names I don't know yet. So whether you're a usual suspect or new, welcome. My name is Nathalie. So let's get started in a comfortable cross-legged seat and just take a moment to settle in. So maybe you'd like to set yourself up on a blanket. Maybe you'd like to take a moment to take your upper legs and just rotate the upper legs in, the outer legs out. So spreading the sitting bones even wider. And then just bring your hands down onto your lap. And just take a moment to feel it out. So what feels best, maybe palms of the hands down, maybe palms of the hands facing up to the ceiling. And then when you feel like you're there, close your eyes. Just start to really root down through the sitting bones, anchoring down into the mat, anchoring down into the moment, dropping the day, just starting to check in. So how are you feeling? Starting to draw the attention inwards. How is your body feeling? So really just noticing what's going on. And then see if there are places in the body where you might be able to soften a bit. So that can be as simple as dropping the shoulders down, as relaxing your frown or relaxing your jaw. And maybe you're spending a lot of time indoors at the moment. Maybe you're spending an extravagant amount of time behind screens. So just take a moment to really settle the shoulders into the back body. So allowing the shoulders to drop down, slide down the back. And then bring your attention to your breath. And just start to expand the entire body as you breathe in. And feel the entire body soften as you breathe out. And take a really deep breath in through your nose. And a warm exhale out through your mouth. And let's do that twice more. So take a deep breath in. And a warm exhale out. And the final one, really make it count. Take a deep breath in, feel the entire body expand. And exhale out. And then bring your hands into a prayer. So just connect the palms of the hands together, lifting your heart up to your thumbs. And then bow the tip of your nose down to your fingers. And then maybe taking a moment to set out an intention for your practice this evening. And I'm inviting you to have an open perspective. So we spend a lot of time crumpled up. What does it feel like to expand? So to accept where you are today, to stretch your body, and work through any tension, any stress. And working through sounds like it's something super active, but just noticing what's going on is actually doing something. So just keep noticing and stay curious. And allow the corners of the mouth to lift. And then stack your head back on top of your spine. And slowly blink the eyes open. And then let's bring the fingertips down. So fingertips down on either side of you. And just keep rolling the shoulders down and back. And now breathe in as you bring the right arm all the way up. So bringing it up and over. And then as you exhale, feeling that side body stretch. And now take a moment to smell your right armpit. So turn your nose up to your arm. And then breathe in to take it all the way back to center. Really find and feel the stretch through the front body, through the back body. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand down and bring the left arm up and overhead. As you really root down through your left sitting bone. And let's do that twice more to both sides. So breathe in to lift. And exhale to stretch. So keep the heart lifted. Breathe in to lift. And exhale to stretch. Okay, once more on both sides. Just finding your own breath, your own flow. Really feeling that extension. And breathe in. And as you exhale, take your final stretch. Then lift it back to center. Now turn the palms of your hands all the way forward. So spread your fingers super wide. You should feel the webbing in between the fingers stretching. And then as you exhale, just roll it onto all fours. So find the center of your mat. Aligning your knees with your hips. Aligning your wrists with your shoulders. And then keep spreading through the fingertips, gripping the mat with your fingertips. And find a really long, nice straight back. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, really press away from the mat, pressing through the tops of your feet, pressing through your fingertips. Cat stretch. And then as you breathe in, tilt the pelvis all the way up to the ceiling. Bring the heart through the gateway of the arms and bring your gaze up, cow stretch. And let's do that twice more. So exhale to round through your stretch like an angry cat. And inhale to arc through your spine. Let's say like a happy cow. I don't know if you've seen the videos of cows going back into the green fields today. Kind of like that. Once more. Exhaling to round through your spine. Cat stretch. And breathe in to arc through the spine. So send your heart forward, send your gaze up. Take a really deep breath in. And then as you exhale, return to your straight spine. Now bring your knees as wide as the mat. Big toes together and just drop your hips down to your heels. Walk your hands forward and drop your nose down to the floor. So moving into child's pose. And you are always welcome to return to child's pose. So if something doesn't feel right or downward facing dog feels like a bit too much tension, just return to this shape and start to notice the breath. Maybe coming into that audible Ujjayi breathing, that Darth Vader breathing. And then maybe your surroundings are really nice and calm. And maybe there's some chaos around you. So whatever is going on, just take it all in, noticing it and accepting where you are, what your surroundings are like. So circumstances really don't have to be perfect. Okay, breathe in. Going to float the weight all the way forward. Now keep spreading through your fingertips. Walk your knees in. Curl your toes under. Now think about being lifted up from your tail. So we're lifting up through the hips. Send your weight all the way back. And then allow the heels to become really heavy. As we take a moment to walk our down dog. So bringing the heels down one at a time. So opening up through the backs of the legs. Breathing. And just making it your own. So pedaling out the dog. and then find your center stillness. So you're welcome to keep your legs bent here. If you feel like you need a bit more space, just do so. Align your ears with your upper arms so your neck is long, lots of space in the upper back. And then take a deep breath in as you gaze over to the front edge of the mat. And walk your feet up as we come into a forward fold. So align your feet with your hips. Just take a moment to spread your toes down into the mat and allow your nose to melt down towards your knees. Forward fold. Take a hold of your elbows and just gently sway from side to side. So it's called a ragdoll. So really letting go of any tension in the upper back, in the neck, opening up through the lower back. And then come to stillness. Bring your right fingertips out in front. And now breathe in as we pull up from the left elbow. We're going to straighten through the left leg and through the left arm. So fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then as you exhale, you're going to take it all the way down. So maybe you're not able to straighten that leg all the way out. That is fine. So breathe and pull up from the right elbow. And extend the right leg out long. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. And exhale to fold. And now just find your own flow. And just keep it moving, keep it breathing. So it's a very gentle twist. But also stretching through the hamstrings. Finding some space in the upper back. And starting to connect the movement to the breath. So really letting the breath fuel the movement. Okay, this is our last one. And now come back to your ragdoll position, but keep the arms where they are. And now really start to press into your feet. So think about pulling energy up through the arches of your feet, really engaging the legs and just really slowly roll yourself all the way up. So stacking the spine, one vertebra on top of the other. And then lift your heart. Give yourself a moment to let all the blood flow out of the head. And once again, just drop the shoulders down. And now breathe in as you bring the arms all the way up. And with your right hand, take a hold of your left wrist. And as you exhale, we're going to take it up and over. So again, side body stretch, opening up, de-crumpling. Breathe in to center. With your left hand, take a hold of your right wrist. And as you exhale, take it up and over. Now really lengthen your tailbone down. And breathe in, bring it back to center. Now as you exhale, float the arms all the way down. So interlace your hands behind your lower back. Press your knuckles down and away, rolling the shoulder blades in towards each other. Bend your knees, take a deep breath in. Let your heart lead the way, keep your chin in as we come into a forward fold, but this time dropping the crown of the head down to the floor as we keep pressing the knuckles up towards the ceiling. So it's a big opener for the shoulders, the chest. Really release through the neck, smell your knees. Why not? And then breathe and lift up halfway, so press your knuckles out, lengthen out through the spine. And then as you exhale, release. And take it all the way down into your forward fold. Now press your hands down into the floor and step your legs out into a plank pose. Now really lengthen your tailbone down. And we're just here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Drop your knees down. Slide your knees underneath your hips. Slide your wrists underneath your shoulders. So returning to that all fours position. And then really press away from your mat. So we're not dipping into the shoulder blades. We're growing really wide through the shoulders. Lift the lower belly in. So our core is just as strong as it was in that plank pose. And then just curl your right toes under. Slide the right heel all the way out. So lengthening through that right leg. And now from the right inner thigh, lift that right leg all the way up. And hug it into the center line. So by doing that, you should immediately feel your right glute muscles turning on. So buns of steel, or a bun of steel. And then turn your left toes out. So this is a bit of yoga for your brain. The left toes come over to the left side of the mat. And now we're just going to come onto the inside of your right foot. So we're aligning left hand, left knee, right foot. So you're welcome to peek at me if that makes no sense. Then breathe in to pull the right elbow all the way up. Like we've done before, send your fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. And just imagine someone taking a hold of your fingers and lifting you up even higher. And then as you exhale, take the right arm up and overhead. So we're extending out from the right toes all the way to the right fingertips. Lengthen your tailbone down. Hug the lower ribs in, so I'm not overarching in my spine. And then take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand underneath your right shoulder and just coming back to center. As we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but this is just as much about what isn't moving as it is about what is moving. So engage those core muscles. Curl your left toes under. Send your left heel all the way out. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward. That's a really great cue to keep those core muscles turned on. Bring the right toes over the right side of the mat and come onto the inside of your left foot. Now breathe in to pull up from the left elbow. Send your fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Lengthen your tailbone down. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your left arm up and overhead. And once again, turn your nose up towards your upper arm. So rotate that left shoulder all the way back. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand down to the floor. Bring your left knee underneath your left hip. So aligning your feet with your knees. And then drop onto your lower arms. So taking the weight off of the wrists. Bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. Now be really mindful about bringing the hands in line with the elbows. Spread your fingers really wide. Grip the mat with all 10 fingertips. So I like the image of gecko fingertips just being stuck to the mat. And then walk your knees out. And think about that cow stretch. So you're thinking about little animals. So tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling and bring your nose down to the floor. And if that's impossible, just release down towards the floor. Or maybe walk your knees back just a bit more. Now think about pulling the mat from left to right. So shoulders are rotating out. We're stretching through the upper back as the heart just melts down towards the floor. And then breathe. So yoga time is breath time. So make sure you keep that breath going, flowing. And then breathe in as you lift your gaze up, peeking in between your hands as you slide your weight all the way forward. And then slide the hands all the way back as you bring your fingertips down into the floor. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. Roll the shoulders back. So once again, maybe think about holding a pencil in between your shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, bring your nose down to the floor. And as you breathe in, lift the upper body, lift the legs. So exhale to lower it down, just waking up the muscles of the back. And breathing in to lift it up. And then just riding the wave of the breath. So moving in your own tempo, finding your own flow. 2 more. So we're going to go into some more standing poses, but as we do, we want to make sure we bring the core strength with us. So just building strength. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe in, hug your elbows in, press up onto all fours. Then curl your toes under, roll the shoulders out. Think about those gecko fingertips. Think about being lifted up from your tail and come into your downward facing dog. So roll the shoulders out. Take a moment to breathe. Now, as you breathe in, you're going to lift the right leg all the way up. So coming into a three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your knee to your nose to your knee. Pull the left heel over the ball of the left foot to give you space. Now press away from your fingertips to find some space here, because we're going to step the right foot up to the right thumb. Now maybe that's impossible, then just make sure that foot finally arrives, so maybe bring it forward. And then take a deep breath in as you lengthen up through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, really press into your left hand. Breathe in as you pull up from your right elbow, so opening up the chest, and then bring the right fingertips all the way up to the sky. Now pull the right hip back and press your left hip forward, so think about that scissoring effect. And then as you exhale, just float the right arm down to the floor. Breathe in, step into your plank. Now maybe on this first chaturanga, bring your knees down. Flip onto the tops of your feet. Really send your heart forward, hug the lower belly in, and then bring the elbows straight back as you hover down to the floor, taking it slowly. So heart comes down first, and then think about sliding underneath a little gate. Breathe in as you lift up into your baby cobra. Exhale, take your nose down to the floor. Curl your toes under. Breathe in, lift up into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll the shoulders out. Allow the heels to drop down and breathe. Okay, so moving through three-legged dog or any which way that feels right to you. Breathe in to lift the left leg all the way up. And then pull the right heel over the ball of the right foot as you bring the left knee in. Now really press away from the mat. So this is core strength. And step your left foot up to your left thumb. So making sure it arrives. And then just taking a moment to send the crown of the head all the way forward. Pull your left hip in. Press the right hip forward. Press into your right hand. You can always come onto your fist if your wrist isn't used to this much action. Breathe in to pull up from the left elbow. Send the left fingertips all the way up to the sky. Take a deep breath in here. Really scissor those thighs in. And then as you exhale, take it all the way down. Okay, here we go. Moving through our flow. So you're always welcome to skip it. Otherwise, breathe in as you step into your plank, creating a bit more heat. Exhale, moving from toes or knees down to the floor. Maybe this time coming into an upward facing dog or baby cobra. But wherever you're moving from, really press into the tops of your feet. Following the breath down, curling the toes under, breathe in to lift into your plank. And exhaling into downward facing dog. And just take a moment to catch your breath. You're always welcome to come into a child's pose. So we're creating some heat. And then in the second half of the practice, we're going to cool it down. Okay, breathe in as you bring the right leg all the way up, coming into three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, pull your left heel over the ball of your left foot. Step the right foot up to the right thumb. Now this time you're going to lower your left heel down to the floor. So really keep pressing into that right foot. We're going to extend the right leg all the way out. Bring the right hand onto the right ankle. Now, this is very unprofessional because I'm turning away from you, but never mind. So really press into your right foot, press into the outer edge of your left foot, pull up from the left elbow, sending the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Think about somebody taking a hold of your left hand and pulling you up. Hug the lower belly in, and just turn your nose up towards your left fingertips. And then as you exhale, flip the left thumb back and bring the back of your left hand towards your right hip. So we're opening up even more into triangle pose. Now just take a moment to breathe here. Maybe floating those right fingers up, so you're really holding yourself from your core. And now take it slow. As you exhale, soften your right knee. Lift your left heel. Bring your left hand down, and we're going to come back into our twist. Breathe in, pull up from the right elbow. And send your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, take it all the way down to the floor. Now, yogi's choice, so what feels right? Maybe you move through a flow. Maybe you skip it. Maybe you come straight to downward facing dog. Maybe you come into child's pose. And then as you exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog. So hopefully you're getting a bit warmer. Maybe even getting a bit more sweat going. So it's getting more dangerous to sniff our armpits. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Breathe in, lift the left leg all the way up. Pull that right heel over the ball of the right foot. Really press away from the mat so you can hug that left knee in and step it up to your left thumb. Breathe in, find the length. Send the crown of the head forward. And then as you exhale, drop the right heel down to the floor. Now make sure your toes are turned in. So your right heel is the utmost outer part of your right foot here. Then lengthen through your left leg. Bring your left hand onto your left ankle so you can support yourself here by really grabbing onto that ankle. Or bring the back of the hand towards the back of the leg. And then breathe in as you really pull up. So bringing that right elbow all the way up. And lifting the right fingers all the way up. And then turn the right thumb away from you. And as you exhale, bring your right hand onto your lower back. Now think about your neck. So we want to keep the neck really long. So if it feels better on your neck, you're welcome to bring your gaze down towards your big toe. And otherwise, we're turning the nose up towards the heavens or your ceiling. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, soften your left knee. We're going to pivot back down. Bring your right hand down into the floor, lifting the right heel. And then breathe in as you bring the left elbow all the way up. So moving through our twist. So revolve the heart up to the ceiling. Lift your left fingertips. And now really find the breath. As you exhale, lower the left hand down towards the floor. And then yogi's choice. Moving through your flow, skipping it, coming straight to downward facing dog, or we're all going to meet in child's pose. So no rush, but when you're ready, bring your knees as wide as the mat, bring your big toes together, and drop your hips down to your heels, bring your forehead down to the floor, and just fold your hands over your neck. So it's a really soft movement, taking out any pressure out of the shoulders. And then breathe. Returning to that intention we set out at the beginning of practice. Opening up to whatever is going on. Whether you're feeling super good or quite crap. Just acknowledging what's going on. What's going on in the body. And notice the breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. There's 2 more breaths in child's pose. Then send your arms out long. Just walk your hands in towards yourself. And then turn your fingertips in. So your elbow creases come forward. And then really open up the heart. So send the heart forward as you roll the shoulders back. Now we're going to do 3 lines breaths, which is one of my absolute favorite one for letting go of tension. So take a really deep breath in through your nose. And stick your tongue out and look up and say 2 more. Take a really deep breath in. And exhale out. And one more. Let something go. Turn your fingertips forward. So that's a really great one for letting go of any heat, but it's also a great one for letting go of any shame. Walk your knees in. Any tension in the jaw. Send your hands forward. We're going to bring it back into downward facing dog. Now you just stay the same way around. I'm just going to turn so I don't lose you again. So send your legs out long, turn your shoulders out. And then breathe in to float the right leg all the way up. So think about stroking the air with your toes. And then once again, pull your left heel over the ball of your left foot and step the right foot up to the right thumb. Making sure it arrives, and see if you can make it a soft landing. Then once again, turn your left heel down. But this time, keep the right leg bent, pressing into both feet. And now bring your right fingertips on the inside of your right foot. And then bring your right lower arm onto the right upper leg. So we're moving towards extended side angle. Now keep pressing into that back leg. I want you to bring your left hand into a fist and draw the left hand towards the lower belly. So we're just checking in with that core strength here. So pull that lower belly in, lengthening your tailbone down towards your left heel. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. Now, if you'd like more challenge, feel free to bend the right leg a little deeper. Maybe you're slightly dying here, feel free to adjust. Breathe in to bring the left fingertips all the way up. So think about hugging those hip bones into the hip socket. So you're really working here, you're not hanging out into your joints. Now we're just going to turn the left fingertips down to the floor. So we're going to circle them down. And then as you breathe in, bring your left arm up and over. And once again, turn your nose up to your arm. And just two more. So exhaling to turn it down. And inhaling to send that arm up and overhead. And really rotate your heart up to the ceiling. And one more. Exhale. Keep pressing into both feet. Inhale, now stay here. Take one more deep breath in to bring your left fingertips up to the ceiling. Turn your left thumb away from you. Bring the back of the left hand towards the lower back or maybe all the way towards your right hip. Now your right leg should be talking to you. It's saying really nice things. Bend your right leg. Now keep pressing into your left leg. We're here for two more breaths. Maybe send your right arm out long, but maybe don't. Take one more deep breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to slowly take it down to the floor. Lift the left heel, drop the left knee down. Come onto the top of your left foot. And then breathe in to pull your hips all the way back into a half splits pose. Now that should feel extremely good. So see if you can keep your hips in line with your left knee. If you need a deeper stretch, walk your right foot out. And then drop your nose down towards your knee. Really soften your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Hug the inner thighs together. Take one more really deep breath. And then breathe in as you bring your gaze forward. Smile, soften your gaze. Get twinkly. And then as you exhale, roll the right foot down. Curl the left toes under. Bring the left hand down and now breathe and lift the left knee and send the right fingertips up to the ceiling. So moving into a twist. And then as you exhale, slowly float the right hand down to the floor. Now yogi's choice. So you're welcome to move through a flow. You're welcome to skip it. Maybe straight into downward facing dog. Maybe straight into child's pose. Okay, you stay where you are. I'm just going to do a little elegant turnaround. And then let's meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in as you lift the left leg all the way up. So this is core strength. Don't worry if you don't get it at once. Then pull the right heel over the ball of the right foot as you step the left foot up. Grip into those gecko fingertips. So a gentle landing. Breathe in to reach the crown of the head all the way forward. And then as you exhale, turn the right heel down to the floor. And then really press into the outer edge of that right foot. So bring the left hand onto the inside of the left leg. And then slowly bring the right hand towards the lower belly, so bringing it into a fist. And then lift the left lower arm on top of the left leg. And you're really pressing down here. So once again, you're pressing out of the floor, you're pressing out of your leg. You're hugging that lower belly in. You're lengthening your tailbone down. And whilst you're doing those things, you're also breathing. Now send your right fingertips all the way up. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, turn your fingertips down to the floor. Breathe in. Pull the right thumb back. Turn your nose up to your arm. And then exhale, circle it back. Keep pressing into your right foot. Breathe in to open. Breathe out to bring those fingertips back. Breathe in to open. Now stay here. As you breathe in, bring your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then turn your right thumb away from you. Keep pressing into your feet. Bring the back of the right hand towards the lower back. Maybe even fingertips onto your left hip. Really bending that left leg. Now think about drawing that energy up through the arches of the feet, and you're here for 2 more breaths. So lengthening your tailbone down. Maybe sending your left arm out in front, but maybe not. Okay, take 1 more breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly take it down. Lifting the right heel, breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, drop your right knee down to the floor. Come onto the top of the right foot. And then breathe in as you pull your hips all the way back, coming into a half splits pose. So don't overdo it here. So don't send your hips all the way down to your right heel, if that's even a possibility for you. But you want to keep a bit of a bend into that left leg. So once again, not hanging out into the joints. And then maybe soften your nose towards your knees, soften your shoulders. And take 1 more really deep breath in. And out. And then breathe in as you bring your gaze forward, rolling, articulating through that left foot. Curl the right toes under. Now breathe in and lift the right knee, lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, take it down to the floor. Now this is your last chance for a vinyasa, so you're welcome to take it, moving through that flow, but you're also welcome to skip it. So really noticing what feels right in this moment for your body. And wherever you are, however you're moving, move with the breath. And then as you breathe in, so take your time, but when you're ready, breathe in, move into a plank. And then as you exhale, bring your knees down to the floor. And just take a moment to come out of your wrists. So come onto your fists. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, round through the spine. Cat stretch. And then return into your straight back. Now, if the next one doesn't feel right or you're kind of done with the sweaty business, you're welcome to come into a child's pose. This is kind of the final bit of really heating practice we're doing today. So spread your fingers really wide, and I want you to do that to keep the weight out of your wrists. So once again, think about those gecko fingers, and then step your feet out. Bring your feet a little wider than your hips. Crown of the head reaches forward, lower belly hugs in. Now, smile really helps in a plank. Move over to the outside of your left foot, the inside of your right foot, and then pull the right hand into the lower belly. Now, if you're already thinking no, maybe bring the left knee down into the floor as we've done before. Send the right fingertips all the way up. So either with the knee down or maybe onto your lower arm if your wrist is sore. And maybe send your arm up and overhead, but maybe not. So really adjusting it to your body today. Then take one more deep breath in and slowly come into your plank. And of course, we still have another side. So come onto the outside of your right foot, the inside of your left foot. Start by bringing your left hand into the lower belly. So we're lifting that lower belly in. Welcome to drop the right knee down to the floor. And then just breathe in. So it's a really smooth opening. Left fingertips out to the ceiling. And maybe as you exhale, left arm up and overhead. Lengthen your tailbone down. Take a deep breath in. Bring your fingertips back to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, rotate. And come back onto all fours. Now drop your hips down to your heels and just sit up here. So if this is uncomfortable on your knees, you're welcome to come to a cross-legged seat. Just interlace your hands and take a moment to twist your wrists. So well, can barely talk. Well done. We're going to cool it down. So return onto all fours. And as you're there, just curl the right toes under and send the right leg all the way out. And then this time lift the right leg up and just bring the right knee over towards your right wrist. Now turn the right leg underneath you, so we're coming into a pigeon pose. So stay bright through your right toes and then slide the left leg out and flip onto the top of your left foot and then really press into your left big toe and just feel that length all the way up through the foot, the leg, the spine, to the crown of the head. Now if there is discomfort in your knee, I would suggest dropping your right hip down to the floor and bending your left leg. So really adjust the pose to your body and don't force yourself into any uncomfortable poses. So really exploring what feels right to you. And if it feels right, you're welcome to come onto your lower arms. Maybe drop the forehead down towards the floor. And then really find your breath. Opening up through that right hip. Breathing into that right hip. So the hips are a place where we tend to store a lot of tension. So just notice what comes up here. Noticing it is already doing something. Two more breaths. And then as you breathe in, you're going to lift yourself up. So returning onto your hands. And then drop the right hip down towards the floor. And just swing your left leg all the way around. And bring the left foot over the right leg. So maybe you need to adjust a little bit here, wiggle around a bit. You want to bring both hip bones down into the floor. And that might be impossible. So you can always keep the left foot out in front here. So once again, just notice what you need, maybe what you don't need. And then give yourself a really tight hug. So hug the right arm around the left leg. Then bring the left hand behind you. And take a really deep breath in to sit up tall, spiraling the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, rooting down through both sitting bones. And then as you exhale, just peek over the left shoulder. Keep the chin in, the tips of the ears reaching up. And then as you breathe in, we're going to take it back to center. Just come into a cross-legged seat. Breathe in, bring your arms up all the way. Turn the palms of the hands forward, and then as you exhale, roll it back onto all fours. And that feels really weird with the weird leg on top. So take a moment to settle in, And then breathe in as you send your left leg out long. So keep that core engaged, protecting your lower back. Lifting it up. And then bring the left knee towards your left wrist. Bring the left leg underneath. So the further your left shin is parallel to the short side of the mat, the deeper the stretch will become. Slide your right knee out. Rotate your right hip bone towards your left heel. Breathe in, lift, lengthen. And then as you exhale, take it down or don't. So being really mindful and feeling it out. One side usually is a lot different than the other side. You're always welcome to drop that left hip down or to pad that left hip, maybe bringing a blanket or a little pillow underneath it. Just be really mindful of your knees. So any discomfort in the knees is always a sign that you need to adjust. Just be really kind to your body. And then once you're settled in, breathe. Breathing into the hips. Relaxing through the jaw. Maybe even allowing a bit of a smile. Moment of gratitude for yourself. For taking this time out of your day to really take care of yourself. It takes a little discipline. So, well done. And then as you breathe in, walk your hands back up and underneath your shoulders. Just drop your left hip down to the floor as you swing the right leg around. And just cross the right leg over the left leg. So take a moment to adjust. And then everything that touches the floor is rooting down. So maybe take a moment to take a hold of your right leg and just find that lift. Bringing your chin in. So usually the way we feel really changes with the chin jutting out, coming forward. We're just bringing the chin in. Then hug your left arm around your right leg. And bring your right hand behind you. And then breathe in as you find that length through the spine. Tips of the ears reaching up towards the ceiling. And then think about kind of rinsing out a towel. So twisting it out. And as you breathe in, turn your nose forward. And then this time, as you exhale, we're going to send both legs all the way forward. So taking a moment to adjust here. And then bring the soles of your feet together. So coming into a butterfly pose. Now bring your thumbs underneath your balls of your feet and just open up your feet as if you're opening up your favorite book. I want to say Harry Potter. Breathe in, lengthen out through your spine. And then as you exhale, keep your spine really straight. Keep your elbows hugging in. Maybe tell us what book you were thinking of in the comments. We can do these things now. And then breathe. Allow the shoulders to slide down. So we tend to round through the spine here, but just for start, just keep a really long back. And then as you breathe in, roll yourself all the way back up. Take a hold of the outsides of your legs and fold them in. And then come to lie on your back. So as you do so, hug your knees into your chest. Make sure your neck is long and let the lower back become really heavy. And then we're going to return to that butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall out side to side. And then take a deep breath in as you bring your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, just let go. And let's take 2 more really deep sighs here. So breathe in all the way into the lower belly. And then take a warm exhale out. And one more, take a really deep breath in. And a warm exhale out. And then just think about lying outside in the sunshine, clouds passing up and overhead, feeling completely relaxed. And then take a moment to prepare for Shavasana. So when you're ready, send your legs out long, drop your toes out side to side. Bring the arms down, but move slow, feeling it out, exploring. Maybe putting on something warmer, taking a sip of your tea or your water, taking a pillow or a blanket out. So in other words, just make sure that you are comfortable. And once again, really accepting your surroundings, whatever is going on around you, any clingy pets, any noises, any sounds, just take it all in. And really choose to accept whatever is going on. And within your context right now, let yourself soften, letting go of any active breath. Instead of any doing of the breath, just be breathed. And then start to relax your face, soften your eyelids, relax your jaw. Let the shoulders become really heavy. Let the arms become really heavy. Soften all 10 fingers. And in particular, soften your thumbs. Really feel gravity pulling the back body down, the muscles of the back relaxing completely. Feel the weight of your pelvis, your hips, softening all the muscles, all the tissue in and around that pelvic bowl. The upper legs are heavy. The lower legs are heavy. Soften your ankles. Soften the tops of your feet. Soften the soles of your feet. Soften your toes. And then just notice what's going on. So notice how heavy and relaxed your entire body is. And maybe you notice all kinds of thoughts, but also become aware of the stillness behind those thoughts. And just take a couple of breaths here, letting the dust settle on our practice, refreshing. Easing into the relaxed energy of the evening. And let the breath become a little deeper. Take a moment to wiggle your toes. Take a moment to move your fingers and twist your ankles, twist your wrists. And then take one more really big full body stretch, maybe yawning, lengthening. And then come to lie on your right side. So just using the right arm for a pillow, keeping the weight off of your heart. And then bring the left fingertips out in front and just really slowly press yourself all the way up. So returning to a cross-legged seat. And then close your eyes. And notice how you feel. So we don't have a lot of control about what's going on around us. And sometimes it feels more natural to kind of swim against the stream. That is an expression. But what happens when we find or try to find a bit more space in the body, but also just to notice what's going on? Really accepting ourselves and how we're feeling. So just as on our mat, it doesn't have to feel super good. But it can. Okay, bring your hands into a prayer and just bring your thumbs up to your third eye point, and maybe there's something you'd like to take off of your mat and into your evening. And then allow the corners of the mouth to lift just once more. As we take a really deep bow down, bowing down to the highest version of ourselves, and choosing to see that within each other. Thank you so much for your time, for showing up here. I'll say it again, even though it's digital, it's super real. I I would love to hear any comments, any feedback, any advice, any great book tips. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.